Hi, Dan Permanik with Chagrin River Outfitters. Back again on the river. In a minute, our good friend Jeff Liskay is going to share with us how intermediate heads are beneficial to us using lighter switch rods when it comes to Great Lakes steelhead fishing.
Hey, back on the water again here. We're going to cover a couple little tips. And one is going to be taking your equipment outside the box. So a lot of times we have these adverse conditions, like today the river is in perfect condition, nice, clear, everybody's catching some fish, but there are going to be times when you're out fishing and the river is not going to be kind to you. You're going to have higher water levels and maybe dirtier conditions, but we still want to use the same rod. So my go-to rod here on the South Shores is basically a trout spey. It's only 11 foot 5 weight. It's a Scott. And because the river conditions get higher and the flows come up, I have to get my fly down swinging a fly. And so basically we traditionally use floating heads, but then we also have to use the sink tips. And let's face it, as the water levels come up, we have to get more sink tip. The problem is with these smaller little switch rods that we use here on the South Shores is that it's a payload delivery system. You have to have big payload of the actual head itself to deliver big payload of a tip or a fly to make life much easier. My go-to answer and tip is once I get into those extreme conditions, because I know I can't throw T14 or T18 with this little rod. Can I do it? Sure, but it's just ugly. So what I do now is I replace the floating head with an intermediate Skagit head. This is going to cut the confused current, the high flows. It's going to allow me to slow things down if the water's gritty. It allows me to get in that nice couchy water and stay there longer. And then I can use the same tips that I generally use. I'm going to use some type of 2-4 sink, maybe at the most type 6 or 7 sink. But I can still use my tips that work really well for this rod and then just use an intermediate Skagit. That's going to basically help you get down, catch more fish. And not only does that work for the higher, dirtier water conditions, but a lot of times when the migratory trout, they just hunker down and it's a speed thing, it allows me to slow my speed down and basically get that swing speed that we really want to catch these fish. So I hope it helps. If you have any more questions, stop up at the shop. The boys there will really help you out. Thanks a lot.